it's another episode of Ramrado, Ennis, Texas, the podcast.
Who do we have here?
Oh, we have the Catalyst of Change.
Catalyst?
Please make sure. Let's rewind that and say it again. And I want
COC?
COC.
This is the COC.
Catalyst of Change.
Captain Catalyst of Change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here on the Ramrado Show.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that your late night show talk voice?
That's my dog voice.
You have to really be careful today because if we're not careful, when I tell you, you're going to see so many different personalities come out, and it's all just going to shake out. So I'm going to ask a question, and the reason why I want to ask this question is because I really want to know from you guys. So we all went to high school. Give me like a high school memory that you have, like first week of school, first semester, just like, because school just started. So like, let's talk about it. High school. Tyler.
I got a funny one
Okay.
and an athletic related one. So Battle of 287, I'll relate to that.
Okay.
So you know all those movies you watched in the 90s where they put the kids on the Coke machine?
Yeah.
So I have an older brother who's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
And anytime I saw his friends, they're like, hey, just wait. And when you get in high school, when I was a freshman, the fish, first time I walked down that hallway, I get grabbed, put up on top of the Coke machine.
Oh, my goodness.
The main hallway.
Everybody
Put up
there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You got to love it.
Big Ross Basham.
I want to know, did you have your hair like that back
No,
then?
no.
Oh,
they
you did?
they used to call me, because you see all these locks.
Yeah.
So
Goldilocks.
it would be shorter, and if you didn't put any gel in it, but it would be wild. So they called me, and I had glasses until I strictly wore contacts. They called me Napoleon Dynamite.
I love it. I can kind of see it. Okay. How about you, Sarah? High school.
High school.
Where were you? Jamaica?
I'm in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah,
I
Jamaica.
am in
Oh,
Jamaica at at the Queen's High School.
Okay.
So walking first day of school, and I am like surprised and happy because in my class is a girl named Ava who looks almost exactly like me.
Okay.
And yeah, my twin. And I was so happy because there's not a lot of people that look like me in my own country. So when I went to school and saw that we became best friends, and we're still best friends here 40 years later.
Wow. Ava
Davis.
Ava Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So
We were both blonde hair.
Shout out, Ava.
and everything.
Hopefully you're following, watching,
from
and subscribe.
Jamaica or
From
wherever
Jamaica.
she's at.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, my first day in high school, or first week of high school, I was a basketball player. So first day we just kind of got to sit. I got to sit with the varsity players, so I thought like I was that guy as a sophomore. We didn't go as a freshman like you.
You had your own school for freshmen. I came from a small town.
I get it. Yeah, we had our own building.
We had an intermediate school. You know what that is?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
little younger kids than that. So anyway, here it was. I felt like, oh, it's my sophomore year. I'm going to play varsity basketball. So the second day we practice. I couldn't get the basketball from the baseline past the free throw line because I went against two seniors.
And they were
And
pressing.
the very sport that I loved was the very thought of, I'm quitting this like tonight. They dominated me so bad that
You got spanked up and down the floor.
oh, I was
Up
thinking,
and down from the baseline to the free
Just
throw
to
line.
the free throw line.
Just to the free throw
and
line.
that's it.
Just
And then after it was like
locked down.
dunk. So DeJuan Baker and Reggie McDonald, thank you for developing my personality.
Humbleness.
My humble, yeah. It all happened in one setting.
One
so
fell swoop.
here at Ennis, the Battle of 287. It's Ennis and Waxahachie. So let's talk to the COC. I guess you said the CC, Captain Catalyst of Change. Sarah, because you've been with us over almost a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first assignments that you just kind of took on yourself was to see like, what does the community, what does the city, what's the vibe of Pegasus and the community? And like
You
seriously,
give us the bad news.
we
too.
want to know the real deal, right? We
that's
want
what
to know
she's
the
like.
real deal.
Yeah. So what had happened was,
Yeah, what
what had happened was,
What had happened?
you know, when I got the opportunity to come alongside Pegasus, the first thing I was curious about was how was Pegasus seen in the community, from the eyes of the community? What did they see? Because one of my core beliefs is if a business, a church, a school, any kind of organization cease to exist and the city or the town does not miss them, they were irrelevant the entire time.
Wow.
So you want to make yourself so relevant that that community is begging for you to stay, that if anything was to happen in your business, they would rise to the challenge and say, no, 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 we need them. So a lot of times businesses come from the standpoint of bottom line, which is a business. But the bottom line, even on the finances, you can't get finances out of people.
That's right.
And so I really wanted to know what was the perception of the people towards the product that we had. And if they didn't have a good perception, then it was going to impact our bottom line, because we now had to make a shift from whatever that bottom line was, or rebrand or rethink. So when I went and investigated, it wasn't cute. It wasn't real pretty. The idea was that Pegasus was inconsistent, that they were not here to stay. They were, flippant. They would make a commitment and, maybe just not follow up or follow through. And they were hoping, it looked like a lot of disappointment was there. It seemed like they were hoping for this big promise to happen, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I had to come back and report, unfortunately, you're not trustworthy. You're not trustworthy. And Ennis, what I found out about the city of Ennis was that they are family values, right? And one of those family values, or one of their values, is consistency, is hard work, is diligence, is showing up. Like you're talking about the Battle of 287, that stadium is going to be crowded because Ennis is going to show up.
Yeah.
So it was contradictory to the culture of Ennis, which is they show up for festivals. They have Blue Bonnet festivals and different, they're multicultural and a rich history. It's a longevity game for them. So if Pegasus was not committed to a longevity game, they were already going to be intimidated. So they were excited, and then they felt dropped. So we had to now come back in and change the game.
No, what you're saying is so true. And I think one of the illustrations that I used with it was, it's kind of like a child that has just like multiple fathers. I said that because there were so many different stores that had the store before Pegasus has it. And it did go through a lot of change, from some of the big names, Auto Nations, to the Frank Kents, to the Allen Samuels. I mean, so it had that, but from a perspective of people, they still just see it as Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. And it's in Ennis, Texas. So regardless of who's here, they thought the baton was being passed of what the last person said.
Right.
And so, Tyler and I, when we walked in the doors, we knew that somebody did something before us, and right, wrong, or indifferent, we have to start from here.
Right. But I think that was a cool thing, was I knew what the community, the perception was, but then I had to find out what the people were from your perspective. And finding out more about Tyler, and that he is real laid back, he's very, in one sense,
You hear that?
laid back, in one sense.
Let's ask old Deborah about that one.
The person that you can feel like you could take your shoes off and hang out in the backyard with, and then you could pack up his whole family and go to a game with, just very, he was, everything he kept saying was family, family, family. It's like my family, the employees are like my family. Very family was what I got. On your end, you had a thing of inclusion. I don't want anybody left out. Maybe it was a team player in you, maybe the sports person in you was like, okay, where can we support the weakest link? Where can we bring that person up, whether it was an employee or an idea? It was, how do we let the customer, how do we let the employee feel their best self? So we were able to take both personalities, both core values, marry them with the core value of Pegasus Automotive, right? And create that Pegasus is here to stay. That all roads, no matter what road that is, you can come here because we're here to stay. You can count on us. We're going to give you a family feel. We're going to give you consistency. We're going to give you community. And so that's what we started rolling out. So where people were kind of folding their hands when we started and looking at us sideways. Now we get emails and requests and offers, and the radio guy asked me for the logo last week, and we're getting all these interviews. We've been in the newspapers. We've helped with the cheerleaders. Now we're one of the, we're a title sponsor for the upcoming battle game. So they're looking for us and asking for us because just in a short time, we've been able to prove to them that we care about you more than the bottom line.
And we're not just a check.
Right.
So we're not just here to donate.
We're real people and we really care.
Invest. We're here to invest.
And I think that's the best thing is when you have real GMs who are sincere and it marries with the brand.
Yeah.
So see, Pegasus could have a whole set of core values and they don't mirror any core value, and there's a disconnect in the process.
Right.
But because you all have same core values where you manifest it differently or show it differently, it was just a perfect fit for Ennis. So I think we were able to accelerate that faster because of the culture in Ennis is also a core value culture of Pegasus and you all as general managers.
No, I mean, I think you're spot on. And I think you just having even the consistency of messaging so that, Tyler and I from the beginning knew that we needed assistance. We needed somebody that had the wisdom, had the creativity, had the I know how to,
just to randomly walk up
to people,
and
right.
Start talking to them like an interview.
and
she did that, by the way.
And so you brought all that together, and we knew that it didn't make sense for one of us to be doing something with you. It made sense for both of us to be doing it because the ideas that Tyler has, the ideas that I had, we needed to funnel it through one person so that it became the ideas of Ennis. And, like you said, it's just been amazing. I mean, Tyler, you guys have sold different people in the fire station. I know I've seen, because I remember you guys during the holidays, y'all went and took some ham or turkeys. Or what'd you take over there?
We took a smoked turkey.
If y'all didn't like them, y'all, we gonna
drop it off at the police station.
We'll get y'all a better one this year. No, but I've witnessed it, right? You've done that. The fun part I remember that we've done too together. I know we went to the Battle 287. That was our first event that me and you went to together. But the rollback. Remember when we went to the fire station and
that was neat.
That really was.
Awesome. Yeah.
Did you know we did
I
that?
single-handedly pushed a fire truck, that big fire truck, into the station. They all moved aside and said, "Here, Tyler, let's see if you can do it." And I did it. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that.
We were right there with your friend. With the mayor. We were with the mayor.
Mayor Rayburn.
Yes, with Mr. Rayburn, and he was there, and we were part of with the fire station, and we rolled back that.
We did.
We did.
Okay, because you see what I'm saying? He's so family that you really believe him, and 99% of the time he's playing.
Yeah, he is a jokester. He is a jokester.
So let me ask you all a question.
Oh.
Okay. So
ask the best GM ever. That's him.
Okay.
The cup sets.
Were you all high school athletes, and what sport did you all play?
Yes.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay.
I played all the sports that Bridgeport had, I should say.
Oh.
But I played baseball,
checkers,
football.
chess.
Nope, we didn't have that. We didn't have. So they started a soccer team like a couple years after I left there. Baseball, basketball, football, and I ran track.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Man, you did everything.
Well, it's a small school. You got to contribute. So the football players showed up a little later into the basketball season because obviously we were finishing up, especially if you went into playoffs. And I started basketball later because my senior year because we were 1 or 2 rounds into the playoff. So we had to start then.
My daughter was at a real small school, and she ran track for the school for that year because the same thing. They were looking for everything. And when they said, 8th grade track, whatever, points, win, whatever, and they called one name because she ran every event, the 100, the long jump. She did it.
She was the superstar of it all.
400. She was collapsing. We just had to hydrate her. And it's like, I get what you're saying. It was that one name, So what did you do, Derek Butts?
I played basketball. So I played basketball at Martin High School, and I ran track, but I only ran one meet every year. I just felt like if I was only going to run the 4x100, why should we have to? Yeah, why should I have to run 6 400s if I'm only going to run 100? So
you had that much clout. You could just show up to one meet.
Well, yeah, kind of.
You must have been that awesome.
Well, I was coming out of basketball, like you just stated, and the track meets were already going. So I would then come over and run that one track meet.
All right, guys, I'm out.
And then when it was time to go to the practice, I said, yeah, I think I'm just going to focus on basketball. And I did it every single year. So I ran one track meet.
That's called clout right there.
Okay, I have one more question for y'all. Maybe y'all can turn it back. Okay, so being athletes and it being battle of the band, not the bands, battle of Ennis and Waxahachie, right? Mm-hmm. We are going to be coming up, I think it's August, is 28th?
29th.
29th.
Yeah.
I know 28th you're doing a big dinner or you're doing something
yes.
to celebrate them, right? To honor them. And then on the 29th is the game. Being athletes, former athletes, what is one lesson you could say that you could probably take into being a GM at Pegasus? What is something, looking back as an athlete, you have taken into what you're doing right now? What did athleticism teach you?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a lesson I'm teaching my kids now, and my oldest son's starting to play baseball and watching him walk to a baseball, not knowing. And I had to teach him, hey, when you're on a field, you hustle everywhere you go. Like when we play softball, it's weird. I'm running out to the left field to play. In the same way, like I approach business and everything that I do with the same mentality. It's like I'm going to hustle. Like I'm going to like give it my everything. In sports, I may not have been one of the better ones or the best, but
you gave your best.
I'm gonna give everything I can until like I give out, but not give up, give out.
There you go. I love it.
But it's hustle. It's always trying to the same thing with my kids. It's look, hey, if you're going to go get that, if you miss a ball, you run to go get the ball.
Yeah.
If you go out to your position, I don't care if it's to first base, you're going to run to first base.
Got you.
I like it. I like it. For me, I think it's that in sports, there's a scoreboard. Mm-hmm. And I think in life, there's a scoreboard. Yeah. And
it's good.
With that, you got to learn to also measure the right things because every score is not on the scoreboard. And I say that because I look at my associates, I look at the advisors, I look at both where somebody starts, kind of even what you did with us. You found out, where did we start? But where do we want to go? And so sometimes you may not always get praise from where you are, but when you really know where you've been and where you are, you learn to praise the progress. And so with that being a scoreboard mentality, man, with the clock, as long as there's time on the clock, we have an opportunity to still make change. We have the opportunity to still win. And so that's been, I think, a part of just who I am from the coreness of me is that, man, I try to keep score on things and not keeping record of wrongs for wrongs and things that people do, but that how do I keep getting better? Yeah. How do I keep making progress? How do I keep improving? So
I was a swimmer, and so I look at what I get to do now, and I remember one time I was, swimming, and I had a boyfriend that was watching. That's not good. Just never bring the people. So when you're trying to do your best, do not bring the people you're trying to impress, okay?
Well, my daughter's getting ready to get on a plane about, to go see her boyfriend. But let's hear what happens.
Right. So what happens is that I learned is that the basics still matter. Because I abandoned my training in the middle, so there's a way that you learn to pace yourself no matter what sport that is. And so in swimming, I did the butterfly. So I was with the butterfly, and coming towards the end, right, I didn't want to lose. I didn't want, you just don't want to be last, right? Yeah. So I'm not necessarily aiming to win, but I'm aiming not to lose, right? Yeah. And so he was kind of at the end. And, the stadiums are full. It's a national event, and we're cheering, and they're doing the things. And halfway through it, I'm not in pace because I'm thinking I need to impress this person, right? So towards about 75%, I just start swallowing water, right?
Uh-oh.
So I just start
going under!
I start swallowing water. Doing this, right? And so I am like literally...
Listen. You better tune in to the next episode of Ramrado, and we're going to hear the rest of this story of Sarah She's
almost drowning in a
almost
sport
drowning.
that she participated in.
Man, if you haven't clicked the button, you better subscribe to the channel. Watch the next episode. We're going to pick right back up here with her, with the water that she has going on. We'll see you next time on Ramrado.
See you. All roads lead to Pegasus.